Same with the pitcher. We're going to do one with the pitcher. Bases loaded, infield in, less than 2 outs. Boom. Ball, ball, ball. And we're trying to get that out home. Key is good throws, have them in, and try to stop that run from scoring. Okay, coaches and managers in the team defensive situation, double plays are not something you're going to see a lot in Little League, but we want to try to get the concept down because they're going to have to learn that down the road, and really it'd be exciting to see them execute a double play in a game. And we're going to try to get you set up, the right footwork, the right ways of doing it, responsibilities to try to achieve that in a game. Basically what we have set up here, second baseman, shortstop, we got a man on first scenario. If the ball is hit to second base, we talked about it earlier, shortstop is covering this play. So the second baseman is going to get a ground ball. I'll show you. He's going to have the ground ball, shortstop's covering. He's going to get it. He's going to stay low now. We don't want to stand up. We want to stay low, rotate our feet, and stay in a nice low position for a good feed to the bag. Okay, shortstop's coming across. Coach Steve's going to show you kind of how he's going to line up and why. He's coming across, ground ball to me. He's heading to this part of the base, the back half of the base. One, he's out of the way of a base runner sliding. He's not in any jeopardy of getting hurt. He's got his back foot on the base for the out here when he catches, and he's just going to slide across and make a good throw to first. Ground ball coming to me, I get it. Staying low, good feed. Okay, some I'm going to add in here, you second baseman. Ball over here, we're still doing this concept. We're just going to move our feet and stay low for that throw. You see how I did that? You don't want to stand straight up, you guys, when you're out here. You don't want to come across. This is a tough spot. I could go here, but I probably got time to get rotated. I'm in my T position, I'm low. Okay? Ball comes towards second base. I'm over here. Now I just got to feed. You notice I just flip it to him instead of throwing. Ball takes me over, feed, double play. Coaches, what we're showing right now is I'm going to do some alternate feeds from short to my second baseman, and watch how Coach Steve reacts with his footwork, trying to turn that double play. Ball was behind him. He used the back half of the ball or base and was able to throw a good strike to first for the out. We're going to do an inside one. Notice he took the inside lane on that because the ball took him there. We're going to do a higher one. It's right on the base, stayed outside on the outside half. An early feed, he still got to the base. Now we're going to do one where he's getting there before I throw it. Now we're going to do what we did on the second baseman. We've got different ways that the ball is going to take the shortstop, either that direction or this direction, and when he's going to set up and throw and when he may flip. So we're going to work on different ground ball scenarios, and he's going to respond. There's a flip. He's close to me. He's just going to, that's the easier way to do it. It's more accurate. Okay, coaches and managers, we run into situations where we get a guy picked off or in a pickle, they call it, or run down, and we want to be able to practice how we do that so we do it correctly and we get the out right away and we're not going back and forth. And how we do this is we set up a situation in practice where you have a base runner, you got a guy over here at second base, you got a first baseman, start it with the first baseman, and basically I'm going to get it, I've got him picked off, with slow motion now, I'm running. Now I want to create, I do not want to stand and run at him because you see the problem I have if I'm a little guy, I'm throwing at him. I want to come out, create a lane that he and I have that opens up the throwing lane, hand up running at him, When it gets to the point where he wants the ball, I want that guy saying now, and I flip, and hopefully the time he's got him, so it's just a catch, tag, and he's done. So I got him picked, run down,
Now.
and he's out. The faster we do it, the easier we do it. One throw, one out concept. If we have to come back the other way, we will, but the goal is to do it that way. Go.
Now.
Okay, on that one, we've got another guy in this drill. Coaches, you're gonna have another guy backing up. I'm out of resources, but we're gonna have another guy in here working that concept back and forth. Now I'm gonna jump in case we need that scenario. We'll do another one. We don't want more than 2 throws here. If we get more than 2 throws, it's probably gonna be an ugly situation. We want them right away. Here we go, go.
Now.
2 throws, we got him. Okay, now we're going to talk about the hitting concepts on this portion of the DVD. And I'm just going to kind of start with just a basic setup, basic stance, form that can be incorporated on your kids in practices all the way through from T-ball all the way up to the higher levels. Basically, when you set up, there's a certain area you want to be in. You obviously don't want to be too close to the plate because you're going to get jammed up on inside, or regular pitches over the plate are going to jam your hands. And you don't want to get too far away from the plate because the pitch over the middle of the plate here becomes a ball that's going to get hit off towards the end of the bat, not on the meat of the bat. So we want to find a happy zone right here. I like to just go ahead and reach my bat and be able to touch that outer half so that I know as I swing, I've got it covered. I've got all the base covered. So you kind of see my setup here. And then on my hands, I got my hands in this position. I like them kind of near off the ear here, and I like my elbow. There's different guys that teach different things, but I like the elbow out. You'll see a lot of that in the Major League Baseball players. Helps keep your hands nice and firm here. And you're in a good athletic position with your head on the baseball or on the pitcher. And what we like to see is when the pitch comes or we're hitting off a tee, we load, we kind of load and step at the same time. You'll see here. Now I've got my hands back for power. Load. Our head stays still on the baseball as we're doing this. We're just creating power. And I'm on the ball of my foot as my step. I don't step like on my heel or flat-footed. I step on the ball of my foot, weights back, and then now I'm gonna come through the ball. I wanna throw the butt of this bat in this form. So you notice, load, hands coming down like this, creating that power. And I like this V here that you'll see. This is where we need to be when we hit the ball. Boom, and then through, okay? So again, set up, load, step. We're driving this bottom of the half of this bat through the zone to a power position. You see my head on the ball. You're gonna see a lot of kids doing this. I like to do when you see kids that are really pulling out of it, keep your chin on one shoulder, and I call it shoulder to shoulder. So you watch my chin go from this shoulder to my back shoulder. So it's just in here. And that'll help keep that head on the ball or watching the ball off the bat. Another thing that you're gonna see in this lower divisions is what I call bailing out. You can see hitters do this. And that means they're a little scared of the ball, but you've got no power when you bail out. You've lost all your power here and you're just waving at the baseball. We want stepping towards the pitcher every time. Something I like to use on hitters that are bailing out is put a bat behind them. Okay, put a bat behind them. So as they do this, they know in their mind that that bat's there, and you will find every time as you put something like that behind them, those guys that bail their feet out, they'll step forward every time. So those are kind of the concepts on hitting. It's hard to see it because it's when they're going fast, it's hard to judge what you're seeing, but that's kind of the look that we're looking for. When we start on T-ball, we start with a tee, and we want to talk about this tee real quick. This tee is crucial. Played some teams in the past. Coaches had tees like that. If Adam steps up to the plate real quick, we're gonna see why this isn't a good scenario for him. See where his hands are, where his hands is in the position? He's swinging up at this ball. Now managers, I know you wanna see your kids hit far fly balls, but this is incorrect. We are teaching when we do this exactly what you saw, which is a dip of the hands, a drop and up hit. T-ball, we want them automatically about belt high, and we want them focusing on hitting, as I showed you with the hands, hitting the top half of the baseball, hitting line drives and ground balls. So we want that tee set up in the proper way so that they can achieve a good stroke on it. Also, managers in T-ball, try to move your tee during the games. You're gonna find when you're like this, every ball is gonna get hit to the pitcher. So when you start moving it and they line up, balls are gonna hit to that side of the field and balls are gonna get hit to this side of the field, making it better for those defensive guys to have experiences. So move your tee around, none of this. We want our tee about belt high and having these guys use those proper hitting mechanics and hitting the top half of the baseball. So we're working with Adam here. We're trying to get him a little closer. Reach to try to cover the outside half. Reach out. Okay, not bad. So that's a good spot for him right now. Get set up. You see he's got his elbow out. Nope, get set up in your normal stance. Okay, he's got his elbow out. He's got his hands up. Just go ahead. Good. Line drive, hit, step and drive it. Good. Okay, now we got our farm set up right now. We did some T-ball hitting. This is what you'd incorporate in practice live. We want to get live throws on our kids so they're ready for the games. We've got a scenario where Johnny's going to hit off Coach Steve in a farm situation. He's set up. In practice, especially in the March process, as we're leading up to our first game, it's almost like spring training atmosphere when you're doing practices, at least 2 hours, hour and a half, depending on the division. We're on hitting. We're doing a hitting station. I love tee because it's a great way to work on mechanics. The key to tee is not to just sit out here and throw ball after ball on there and looking at the tee. You see that Connor is looking at the pitcher. He's pretending there is a pitcher, which he will see in a game. He's going to track a ball, and then he's going to hit the ball. So you're gonna go ahead and go through like you're in a game, you're tracking it, and you're gonna bang it. Good. And then we wanna do that every single time to produce good habits, because we don't wanna get into bad habits. We're up there like we're in a game at all times. Pitcher's throwing, track, hit. Good. So you'll notice here we've got obviously an older kid here, high school level, but it doesn't matter. Tee work is something that we want to incorporate into practice, into stations. It's a great way just to work on the mechanics of the swing, the step, the load, the head position, where you want to be when you're hitting the baseball. JP's just going to demonstrate again, tracking the ball like game-like and finishing through it. Good. All right, coaches and managers, you have another station you can incorporate in practices. We did tee station, and another station they can move to during practice after they do tee is a soft toss. You have a dad, another assistant coach set up as we are here, and we're using wiffle balls just so we don't have to chase balls all over the field or get anyone hurt. Basically, the setup here is he's set up like game-like. He's going to get a soft toss from Coach Steve somewhere in the vicinity. The nice thing about soft toss is he has to react to where the ball is, and that's like game-like. So if it's a low one, he's going to react to low and away. He's going to react to an inside pitch. He's going to react to a middle pitch. So he's just going to adjust his swing, and just like he would in a game. Okay. Top half of the ball. Good. And you notice Coach Steve here is taking his time, getting him set up. I've seen these drills where we're rapid firing and we're throwing them in there and the guy's not even set up. That's not doing the player any good whatsoever. We want to let him get set up, and then here comes the pitch. Okay? Good. So make sure you take your time, coaches, dads, take your time feeding these balls in the station. Coaches and managers, we have another station to incorporate during drills during practice, which is the wiffle station. This can be done on a knee. If you're farm A-ball, you can do knee work or even upper divisions, or you can stand up and make it more game-like as a pitching motion. Right now we're on a knee for this purpose of the drill. He's going to throw pretty firm throws. He's going to work on the mechanics as he hits these. And we got a fielder, another player out that's going to shag. So we got 2 kids in this station that are going to be in this type of situation. You can have no more than 3, and this would work best. You notice again, coach is waiting for him to get set up, so he's going to achieve his best swing every time. He's not rushed. Perfect. Now he's standing. Coach is going to stand like game. The nice thing about wiffles is that you get all kinds of different looks. The ball does a lot of movement. You never know where it's going to be, so they have to react. Good, he held off on that. To complete the hitting stations that we just went through, I just wanted to remind you, we have a live station that we didn't incorporate in this DVD, but so for you managers that want some ideas during hitting, during the practices, basically you saw we had a tee station, we had a wiffle station, we had a soft toss station, and you have a live station. So you have options during practice on how to break out the team and what discipline you want them to work on. And I think it's crucial to keep them moving. That's going to be an allocated time during practice. You just have them rotate after they go through each station. If you have 3 stations, 4 stations, whatever you want to do, you have options to work on the hitting. The more repetition these guys get during practice, the better results they're going to have in the field. Okay, now we're going to get to the base running portion of practice, and there's different ways and scenarios. The lower levels, we're really working on getting through first base. T-ball and farm, basically you're going to have a through the bag training that you're going to work with them. And what we're talking about is they're going to sprint hard through the bag, break down their feet, look to the right for a possible pass ball, and come back to the base. So it's going to look something like this. This is what I call through the bag during base running drills. So they're going to act like they're going to hit, they're going to run at the bag full speed, they're going to hit the bag, and they're going to break down in that fashion. So this is through the bag. This is any ball that's hit in the infield on the ground that he's going to try to beat it out. Hits the bag, breaks down. Go ahead, Con. And he looks to the right. When we're looking to the right, in case we have a ball that goes past the first baseman, he's got a good eye on it to either go to second or stay, depending on the situation. Through the... Good. Okay, that's infield hits. Work on those. Again, sprint through, hit the bag, break your feet down, slow down, look to the right for a pass ball. The next one we're going to do is a single route. This is a ball that gets through the infield and it's a base hit. This is the route we take. It's different. He's going to wide out, cut through the bag, and look to see what happens out in the field. The guy could have missed it under the legs. He's taking a double from a single. We don't know. So we're going to go out, be aggressive, check to see the situation in the outfield, come back to first. Base hit. Okay, here we go. Base hit. See him take a wide route. He's going to cut through the bag. Good. That's your base hit. That's what we want to work on to get him that concept.